Hello, love. Welcome home to Eden. This is Eve Christoph, your love life muse. Stick with me for the hottest news and subscribe to this channel to get somewhere new. I'm here to offer you a rare glimpse at sexual divinity and the sacred truth of women. And you know what? I want you to have the secrets at your command that the evolved man has. If you don't already have this, you can develop it. Two amazing abilities that the regular guy doesn't have and puts him at quite a deficit. Okay, so let's talk about this. All right, so the regular guy does what regular guys do with women. He has these compartments for us, right? There is his mother, his lover, his wife, his friends, right? Basically, and his daughters. So these are the compartments we fall into as women for him. Now, not only does he have those compartments, he also has the compartments of his mother, his wife, his friends, versus the rest of the women in the world. So the rest of the women in the world fall into the servant category. Women who are there to serve his needs for his job, for his body, whatever he's buying. They're not included in the ways he relates with the other women that are his women. Now, the thing about the unevolved man is that if you're his friend, you are going to have to deal with the fact that he will not flirt with you in any way or treat you in any sexual way because he's got you in his compartment of friend. So we know that the regular guy, it's pretty normal for the brain of the masculine to light up in the area of his focus. So the regular guy has a compartment that lights up for his friendship with a woman. And it's pretty one-dimensional. You can be sure that he's not going to be flirting with you. Okay, now, and if you're in his lover compartment, now that should be all great and wonderful, right? Except for the fact that, well, his lover deal is that she's not in the compartment of life companion, so he's not really going to get serious with her about what he's doing with his life if he's got her in that compartment. And he's also not going to be in friendship mode, which is how are you, how was your day, what do you need? He's just in the hot, sexy, we're going to do this lover thing. Now, this can be very one-dimensional for a woman. She can feel just like, wow, even romance feels like I am sort of marginalized into a non-human status of this one archetype. Okay, let's get to the evolved man. Now, the evolved man, darling. He's amazing because what he does in the presence of all women is that he flips between the compartments of his mind. So in a friendship with a woman, he's still flirtatious. In lover zone with a woman, he still is connected to his friendship with her. In wife mode, with his wife, it's not just all about details and business of life. He remembers to caress her and flirt with her. Okay, so he's got a picture of her as a whole being rather than a one kind of being, and he's allowing himself to enjoy and take in all the gifts that the feminine has to offer. So he also, number two, understands that it's not just his women that are the ones he can enjoy and take in and flirt with and talk with and care about. All women are his relations. So all mothers are his mother. All lover women are his lover. All children are his children. And he, when he's opening a door, for example, I know you need a grounded idea of this, right? Okay, so this week, various men opened doors for me, right? And I noticed that for two of the guys that opened the doors for me, it was a horrible experience. I felt like I wish they hadn't, because it was clear that they were in a hurry. They were just doing it to get me out of the way. Or because they thought they had to. And there was no connection to the spirit of chivalry. There was also no desire for an interaction with me of gratitude or of reciprocity in terms of enjoyment of the moment. So now last night I was at a movie and a young guy opens the door for me. And he stands there with his beautiful smile on his face. And I smile and we exchange. He brought me right into my feminine. I wanted to just thank him, because it was such a beautiful way he did this. I was his mother. I was his lover. Whoever I was, I mattered as a human interaction to him, regardless of the fact that I'm not his family, right? So there you go. As the evolved man, what you're doing now is you are lighting up all the parts of your brain, okay? And if you can't do that, you're flipping between the different aspects of your brain more quickly. The compartments are lighting up more quickly, back and forth between all of them to connect with all of her. And you're relating to all women as your relations that matter, that you can receive love and flirtation and appreciation and life visioning. All women, all the time. Now, if you don't believe me that you can change the way your brain functions, I don't blame you. But I want to just share with you a short little story how my brain started as very, very dyslexic. So dyslexic that, like many dyslexics, I was kicked out of every school. I went to 13 schools in 13 years. They got fed up with my unusual questions, my backwards way of seeing things, my inability to do simple, reading skills and math skills. And so eventually, the only way to pass any school to the next grade was to go to a different school because they would flunk me in every school. But, this is true of a lot of great thinkers, okay? A lot of brilliant millionaires, billionaires are usually dyslexic because they have no other option but to do unusual things. So I did, though, get really frustrated with my brain because after a while, I really wished I could read, I was age 28 and I still didn't have reading comprehension. Now, how could this be, right? Because I did know the alphabet, I could read, but what happens for the dyslexic brain is the words keep moving around and the letters keep reversing so that you get a different meaning than the author had in mind every time you read a sentence or a paragraph. And not only that, it keeps changing, so when it doesn't make sense and you go back to reread it, it says something different again. And when you go to the next paragraph, now nothing makes sense. So you keep rereading the same page over and over again until your brain just is really hurting, So I wanted to be able to read the great works of the universe. I wanted to learn from people's writing. So I asked the universe to help me, heal my brain, change my brain in some way. And I actually had a dream. And in the dream, a surgery was being performed on my brain. And I saw them rewiring, lightning going in between all the different aspects of my brain. And lo and behold, the next day, I had reading comprehension. I could actually read a paragraph, know what it said, and read the next paragraph, and it made sense. So then I started reading incredible books. It was so exciting. All right, so that's just to say you can change your brain. You can ask for a dream. You can ask for more of your brain to come alive. You can imagine your whole brain lighted up all at once, the way women's brains are. Yeah, you can imagine that your brain you can flip between the compartments and they can light up one compartment at a time really quickly, flashing in between all of them. You can do exercises where you blow up one side of the brain and then the other, and then both sides of the brain together, and then the hypothalamus, is that what it's called? The little thing in the middle, you're exercising them like muscles you're exercising, and this actually changes your thinking. You can envision more wrinkles in your brain, which more intelligent people have more wrinkles in their brain, and these kind of envisioning actually starts to activate your multidimensional capacity. I mean, think of those gay guys. Women always love the gay guys. Is it because they're so freaking hot? They're usually so good looking. Well, yeah, well, maybe some of that, but that's not really it, because you guys are hot too. No, it's more because they have their femininity developed, and they have their full brain operating more because they are more feminine, a lot of them. So, and I think that, and sometimes I wonder if the gay guy's brain is actually made more like a woman's brain. We don't know that yet, but did I, okay, so, yeah, so it's just the most boring thing in the world when you're hanging out with a guy as a friend and he never flirts with you. And it's the most dry thing in the world as a wife to have the guy thinking business and life plans and not being sexy or romantic with you, excuse me, and not interacting with you in a romantic way. And it's the most disheartening thing in the world to be in lover zone with a guy who doesn't remember that you're his friend and doesn't, so what we're saying is, guys, us women are whole brain, whole heart, whole body, whole spirit beings. And so the hot guys, the guys that really turn us on, understand that when they flip between all these different aspects of us and their appreciation of us and interaction on those levels, they are entering a hot all-day foreplay. That's what it is. Because when we know that he's connected with all of us, and that's what we need. We need love, and love is not just lust, and it's not just friendship, and it's not just business, and it's not just romance. It's all of those aspects of life, because that's what brings life. Remember, the woman, her hot feelings always are connected to biology. Is he going to be a good person to raise children with? She knows all of life must be connected with all the time in order for a child to be brought up in a healthy way. So it's actually sexy to her when you go in and out of these different aspects of relating with her. Okay, I think I finally said it all. Oh, I've been trying to articulate that for days. Okay, much love, darling. Love, life, and woo, bring on your double hotness. Okay.